There's a strange silence that fills the room right after desire fades. You can feel it. That space between breaths, between skin and skin, when you know something didn't quite land. You did everything right, or at least you thought you did. The rhythm, the moves, the confidence, all there. But deep down, you can sense it. She's somewhere else. Her body's there, but her mind is distant, floating somewhere just out of reach. That's the moment every man secretly dreads. Not rejection, not failure, but disconnection. Because no matter how many tricks you've learned, there's one truth that can't be faked. She doesn't want your performance. She wants you. See, most men approach sex like an exam they need to pass, a checklist of techniques, memorized and rehearsed. But women, they live in rhythm, not in order. They feel your breath before your touch. They read your energy before your words. And what they crave, what awakens them, is not the act itself, but the presence behind it. When a man is truly present, something shifts. He stops performing. He stops thinking about how he looks or how well he's doing. His focus moves from what should I do next to what is she feeling right now. And in that moment, the air changes. The room feels smaller, time slows, and she feels something she rarely feels, safe enough to let go. Because here's the quiet truth no one tells you. For most women, desire doesn't just switch on. It unfolds. It responds. It's not the spark that ignites first. It's the warmth that grows when she feels seen, held, and desired without being rushed. Think of her desire like a fire that needs oxygen, not friction. You can't force it. You have to feed it with presence, attention, and patience. That's why your greatest skill in bed isn't your stamina or your strength. It's your ability to be still, to feel her, to read the small shifts in her breath, the way her hips move when she's opening up to you, the way her eyes soften when she trusts you enough to stop pretending. You don't have to say much. Sometimes, silence speaks louder than words. Just breathe with her. Let your rhythm find hers. Match it. Then lead it, gently. Because when you do, she stops worrying about how she looks, or whether she's doing it right. Her mind lets go. Her body takes over. And that's when real pleasure begins. Not the kind that ends in climax, but the kind that melts everything else away. That's what she really wants. Not perfection, but connection. Not a man who performs, but a man who feels. Because when you stop chasing the result and start living inside the moment, you stop being good in bed. You become unforgettable. Desire doesn't begin when you touch her. It starts long before that. In the quiet glances that linger a second too long. In the brush of fingers that almost happen. In the way she exhales when your eyes meet. And neither of you says a word. That's where foreplay truly lives. Not in the moment you take off her clothes, but in the moments when you make her forget she's wearing them. See, most men think foreplay is a warm-up, a short prelude to something else. But to her, it's the story itself. Every chapter, Every pause, every tiny moment of anticipation is part of the experience. When you rush it, you don't just skip a step. You silence the very music her body was beginning to play. So slow down. Let the day itself become the foreplay. A message in the middle of work that says nothing explicit, but everything she needs to feel, "I can't stop thinking about you." A look when she walks past that doesn't ask for anything, but promises everything. When you hold her in the kitchen for no reason, when your hands rest on her waist and you say nothing, that's the moment the spark begins. By the time you're close enough to touch, the air between you is already charged. Don't break it with haste. Take her in like art, not something to consume, but something to study, to learn, to breathe in slowly. Touch doesn't start with hands. It starts with attention, with presence, with noticing. Start where she doesn't expect it. The back of her neck, the curve of her shoulder, the soft skin beneath her jaw. These are the quiet places where her guard still lives. Your lips don't need to conquer. They need to listen. Every inch of her carries memory. The spot behind her ear that makes her shiver. The hollow at her collarbone where breath collects. The inside of her wrist where her pulse hums against your fingers. Explore them like a language you're just beginning to learn. And when you finally move lower, don't chase. Invite. Let your touch drift like a tide, coming close, then pulling back. It's in that almost, that hesitation, that her mind begins to melt. Because what ignites her isn't just pleasure, it's anticipation. The not knowing, the waiting. Too many men think passion is pressure. Faster, harder, more. But the truth is the opposite. Pleasure lives in patience. A woman's body doesn't open under force. It blooms under warmth. You can't rush a sunrise, and you can't rush her. There's a reason her arousal feels like a slow build, like music that begins in whispers before it ever dares to rise. Her body is teaching you something ancient. That real desire isn't taken, it's earned. So breathe. Let time stretch. Let her see that you have nowhere else to be. When she feels that, when she realizes you're there not to finish, but to explore, that's when she stops performing and starts feeling. That's when foreplay stops being something you do to her and becomes something you create together. There's a point when touch stops being touch, when it becomes language, when your fingertips start saying things words never could. That's where most men lose their way. They touch to do, to get somewhere, to make something happen. But women, they feel the intent before they feel the contact. If your touch carries hunger, she'll close. If it carries patience, she'll open. Her body speaks in whispers, not commands. It tells you everything, how it wants to be touched, how it wants to be seen, how it wants to be known. But you have to listen through your skin, not your mind. There's a small place on her body that holds more sensitivity than anywhere else. A constellation of nerves, delicate as light itself. Most men chase it with force, as if pleasure could be wrestled from it. But real pleasure doesn't live in pressure. It lives in presence. What makes her tremble isn't your speed, it's your attunement. The way you slow down just enough for her breath to catch. The way you trace a circle, not as a move but as a question. The way you wait for her answer, not in words, but in the way her hips shift, or the way her hand suddenly finds your wrist and keeps it there. That's how you learn her. not by memorizing where, but by feeling how. Every woman carries her own map. The small sigh that escapes when you find the edge of her desire. The quiet stillness before she exhales your name. It's not anatomy, it's art. And it's strange, isn't it? How something so small can hold the weight of her entire pleasure. 8,000 nerve endings, 8,000 doors into her mind, her memories, her emotions. Each one a thread that connects to who she becomes when she feels truly wanted. When you touch her there, you're not just touching skin. You're touching trust. You're touching the part of her that remembers every time she wasn't seen. Every time someone mistook performance for passion. That's why this part of her body demands reverence, not routine. Don't rush it. Don't conquer it. Let it lead you. Let her body teach you the rhythm that no book, no technique, no expert could ever show. Use your breath as much as your hands. Stay soft. Stay curious. Feel her, not just physically but energetically. When you sense her body start to open, don't push her further. Hold her there, in that trembling edge between surrender and control. That's where she feels the most alive, not because of what you're doing, but because she knows you see her. This is what most men never understand. Her pleasure isn't mechanical, it's emotional. It's the sum of every second she felt safe enough to dissolve. You don't need to master her body. You need to understand her trust. And when you do, when you treat every inch of her with that kind of devotion, she won't just respond to you. She'll remember you. Because in that moment, you stopped being a lover who performed. You became a man who understood. Every body has a rhythm, a hidden song that only reveals itself when you stop trying to lead it. And when two rhythms meet, there's a moment, soft, quiet, suspended, when they begin to breathe as one. That's when movement stops being motion and becomes connection. Most men move like they're chasing something, a goal, a finish, a release. But women move differently. They move to feel. Their rhythm isn't linear. It sways, it circles, it lingers. If you want to understand her, you have to forget everything you know about thrusting. Because sex isn't a race, and it's not a performance. It's a conversation. Every motion you make is a word. Every pause is a comma. Every breath you take between hers is a sentence that says, I'm here, I feel you. There's a kind of movement that most men overlook. Slower, deeper, heavier, yet tender. It's the rhythm of grinding. Not pulling away and coming back, but staying inside and moving together as if you're tracing circles in silence, painting her skin from the inside out. This rhythm isn't about power, it's about pressure, the kind that doesn't demand, but invites. When you move with her instead of at her, your bodies start to find a harmony that words could never hold. The heat builds differently here. It's not a flame that bursts, it's one that hums. Each slow rotation of your hips sends a wave through her, subtle but unrelenting. Your pelvis presses against her softness, your chest against her breath. You can feel her heart speeding under your ribs, and somewhere between the exhale and the next rise, she starts to lose herself. Not because you're taking her there, but because you've stopped trying to. The magic of rhythm isn't variety, it's listening. When you feel her body rise to meet yours, when she starts to move first, when her hips begin to write the tempo on your skin, that's when you know she's not following anymore. She's leading with you. Don't rush the music. There's power in the slow, in the subtle, in the stillness between waves. Every time you pause, her body begs for the next note. Every time you pull back just slightly, she feels the ache of distance, the wanting that turns pleasure into something primal. Sex, when done this way, becomes a rhythm that doesn't end when it's over. It echoes, in her breath hours later, in the way she looks at you the next morning, quiet and changed, as if you both spoke a language no one else can understand. Because you did. You found her rhythm and let her find yours. And that's the real secret. It's not about being in control. It's about surrendering to something larger than both of you, the shared rhythm that lives between the silence and the heartbeat. There's a kind of confidence that doesn't raise its voice. It doesn't demand. It doesn't ask. It simply is. It lives in the way you breathe when she's beneath you, in the steadiness of your hands, in the silence between your words when the only thing left is trust. You don't have to dominate the moment to lead it. You just have to hold it, steady, grounded, sure. Leadership in love isn't about control. It's about direction. It's about saying with your energy, "I've got you. You can let go now." Most men don't realize how powerful that is, to give a woman permission to surrender. Not because you take from her, but because you make her feel safe enough to stop holding herself together. Sometimes, all it takes is your voice, a whisper that cuts through the noise in her mind, a soft command that isn't about power, but about presence. When you tell her she's beautiful, say it like a truth you've known for a lifetime. When you tell her what you want, say it like poetry, slow, deliberate, warm. Your words don't need to be perfect, they just need to be felt. And when you speak, don't just fill the air, fill the space between her thoughts. Let your voice guide her body. Tell her what you love. Tell her what she's doing to you. Tell her what you're feeling in the quietest way possible. Because it's not the volume that moves her, it's the sincerity. A man who leads this way doesn't need to perform. He listens as much as he moves. He notices when she trembles, when she stiffens, when she reaches for his wrist as if to say, "Stay right there." He adjusts, he adapts, he learns. That's leadership, not force but awareness. And when the rhythm slows, when everything fades into breath and heartbeat, when the room smells like skin and trust, that's when you understand what connection really means. It's not fireworks, it's gravity. It's the invisible pull between two people who stopped trying to impress and started to feel. You'll see it in her eyes after, that softness, that silence that doesn't need explaining. Because what she truly finds attractive isn't your skill, or your body, or even your words. It's your ability to see her without needing to own her, to touch her without needing to conquer, to lead without needing to win. That's the kind of man she remembers. The one who knew that sex was never a performance. It was a conversation, a shared breath, a surrender, an art. So, forget the checklist. Forget the techniques. Forget what you've been told makes a man desirable. Because, in the end, what makes you unforgettable isn't how you move, but how you make her feel while you do. And when she feels seen, safe, desired, and utterly alive, that's when she gives you something no move could ever earn: herself.